Hey everyone, hi. Welcome to another episode of Is That an Owl Bear podcast, a D&D podcast. Yeah.
There you go.
um
That's our name.
yeah, that's our name. I'm DM Joe and this is Christina and we're
Cristina
here
or Crispa Contreras, whatever you want to
Crispa,
call it.
which all of the above, all of the above. And we're here. How you been? How you
I
been?
am good. There's been struggles as as you know. Like life is hard, man. Life is hard. Like I don't make life hard. Just hard life happens around me and it involves me. And it's like, but why?
I mean, it would be very on point for there to be struggles while D&D is struggling. I guess currently they're driving the struggle bus. We're just on it as our general lives are. But if I'm
The
gonna segue,
amount
that was a good segue right there.
very good.
If
The
if I do
amount
say
of TikToks I have seen of people saying, "Oh, you want all of my D&D inspired content? Let me
yeah,
send you all of my spicy adult situation."
yeah,
And I'm
yeah.
like, "Oh no. Oh no."
It's really funny that we're starting to do a D&D podcast while Wizards of the Coast goes crazy and decides to take all your things. Um, it's very proper timing for us, to be
Yes,
honest.
yes, it sure is. As soon as I saw it, I was like, "Well, this is fortuitous."
Yeah,
Fuck.
it wouldn't be my life if that didn't happen. You know me and my
Pretty
general
on
good
brand
luck.
for us.
Very much.
Mm-hmm,
So as you guys can tell, we want to talk a little bit about the OGL, open game license of D&D, as it's happening right now. And I know we record a little bit before we upload, but we did want to address it because it's bonkers
mm-hmm.
and it needs to be addressed. I don't think you can be or want to be part of the DAD creator and not talk about it at least once, because as a community we need to stand up against these type of corporate,
Predatory behaviors.
yeah, predatory behavior, corporate greed, whatever you want to like say about it.
Call it what it
So
is.
yeah, so we want just to address it a little bit. And I'm just gonna pinpoint like the things that I mostly, with the original intent that they sent out, I think it was November, December.
Mm-hmm.
The main ththings that really uh made me crazy, and like the one thing that I did agree with, but I know that's very controversial, but I want to be honest, because there's one thing that I
Okay.
did agree with. But first, before we get to that point, I mean, I think it's crazy that they think that they have the power to cancel their open game license from previous editions. Like, that is absurd, disrespectful. How can you, like, people have been making a living and working on modules and selling things based
For
on an
decades.
agreement that you did, and now they're like, no, we changed our mind.
With no warning.
Well, the warning was like,
Well,
at the end of January, this bullshit is gonna come into place, because there's no other word
call it
for it
what
than
it
bullshit.
is. Words
Um,
are important.
yeah,
Use them wisely.
and that one was a big no. Like I can't.
Big slap, man. Like right
Yeah,
across everybody's face.
it's it's really fucked, because I don't know if it's the CEO or whoever is, there's a very high
It's
position.
Hasbro.
Yeah, no, it's Hasbro, but there's a very high position person who basically used to work at Singa. I don't know if you know who Singa is.
No, but it
But
rings a
Singa
bell. Uh-huh.
is a cell phone cell phone game publisher.
Okay.
And they make the games that are known to take your money.
Uh-huh.
Their business model is the free to play bullshit.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Um,
Yep.
so now
If
that
you want an upgrade, if you want to have these passes,
mhm.
if you want to
So
Zynga, Zynga.
yeah,
Okay, yeah.
CYNGA.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Those I mean, they have like Frontierville and
Mm-hmm.
a bunch of other games, Words with Friends. I know that they've also like
That's
bought
where I know them
different
from
games,
freaking Words with Friends. That's it.
and in general, they are known for their predatory business practice. So the guy's name,
Yeah.
I forgot his name. But he's now working for Dungeons and Dragons. So as soon as like those two, you put
Fun.
those two together, you're like, oh, this is why this is happening. Or one
Yes.
of the reasons. I mean, you can't just blame that one person whose name I forgot. So that's not very, very well. But yeah, so that big one is awful. And then if we go to another, besides the license, then you have, they can use your content for free.
That is some BS. That is some bullshit.
That I can't even, like, how do you even come to the conclusion if you have an open game license, which the whole point is for people
That is
to publish under your rules, right? Like, how can you come to the conclusions that you're now going to be like, no, we're going to republish the things? They didn't outright say that's what they did, but that's part of the problem. Their lack of communications as to specifically what they were going to be using, because in theory, with what they originally said, it's like, could they just take, I don't know, Ginny D, the YouTuber, and use her content? Like, why wouldn't they be able to? She's making D&D content. They clarified last week that no, it's not about any of those things. It's about like modules or whatever, or that was the original idea. But that is how, what business functions that you do something and then a bigger corporation comes and be like, oh, this is mine now.
Eddie Munson would be so disappointed.
Yes.
so disappointed.
Gary Gygax would be disappointed.
Oh,
like I understand, like Eddie Munson, yes, but like Gary Gygax's entire spiel was creating a game that everybody could play, and like
correct.
making it accessible. So this is just bonkers, like bonkers. So I don't know, like that one in particular, because as you know, I really want to start writing my own modules and trying that. And reading that was so disheartening. It was like, I can't believe that I'm considering at my age making a big career shift, doing something that like, and then this is happening under what protection? Like what happens to the small content creators? Yeah. And in my case in particular, like I haven't even started. So
what would be the point?
Yeah, but there's people who have started who do this for a living.
Yeah. I didn't mean that by don't do it, because we're gonna make it work. It's gonna happen.
We're gonna make it work.
You know what I mean. You know what I mean. Like in the in the ethereal concept of why do it, if that's what we're walking into.
No, exactly. It's very unmotivational, demoralizing words.
You know what, man?
Very demoralizing.
Words are hard.
Yeah,
this is backwards, but yes.
No, I see it fine.
Good. Words are freaking hard.
Words are hard.
If you don't know what that was, go check out our video on YouTube.
Yeah, correct. And hit like and subscribe.
All of that.
I can say those things now.
Finger guns.
Then the third thing that I really disliked about what they were doing. Wait, I mentioned it was a free content. The using
people's content as their own.
And I don't remember the third one right now. So I'll tell you the one.
Re-uploading. No.
I'll tell you the one that I do agree with, because
it'll come back to you.
It will come back to me. It came back to me. It's
there you go.
Them canceling, then being able to cancel your company with a month's notice.
What?
Basically, the original idea that so what they're calling a draft, which has, because of YouTuber, check him out. He has great information, a lot better than what you're going to hear in this 30-minute podcast. D&D shorts. He had some leaks and he kind of exposed what was happening, and they're calling it a draft. What was leaked, it wasn't a draft, it was a real thing, but that's how they're backtracking. The one of the points was, if you made a penny like if you made any amount of money working under the OGL, you needed to register as a company or as a person who's making money through Dungeons and Dragons. You needed to register at Wizards, so they had a database. That is
Okay.
that's morally great. Why would you need a database of everyone who's trying to sell modules or whatever? Like it's they're adding to your system.
Right.
Then they said, if at any point, for whatever reason, which was a big, they could just be like, you can no longer publish things under our OGL. So if you've been working on your models for 3 years and you've been publishing, and then they're like, oh, not anymore, they could just literally pull your entire business under the rug, and that's it. It's done. It was done.
That's some bullshit. And
That
I
is some
think I
bullshit.
feel like I've said it at least 4 times at this point. And how long have we been recording for? However long that has been. Like, I don't know. But that's some bullshit.
That's
A
some
D&D
bullshit.
podcast.
Yeah.
Like,
that's our
that's
official
our new name.
stance. Yeah. Our official stance is that's some bullshit. You better stop.
Yes.
Like, what the fuck? So those are the main 3 things that I took away from reading the draft. And I remember like reading it over and over again and being like, what in the world? Like, what is happening?
Why was this the result? Like,
yeah.
I want to know. My question is, if this is what we ended up with, if this is what we are being given, I want to know what the original pitch was.
Right? Because you know that at some point someone had to say, like, boss, this
like good. Maybe we shouldn't be doing all that. How about we downsize our ideas?
Yeah.
Snip, like just snip. A little bit, just like cut it, just round it up over here and end over here, and let's prepackage it so that they're not as mad, you know. So what would have made us madder? I want to know what would have made us madder.
Girl, if I could have been a fly on that fucking wall and being like, what? How do you want to screw over the community now?
This is so embarrassing for them. Like,
it really is. So that was the original like draft that they said they were going to do. So the one thing, again, I haven't read anyone have this opinion, and I understand that I guess it's controversial. I'm just looking at it from a business standpoint. Is the one point that I didn't disagree with in the entire thing was, if you make more than $750,000 a year, okay, so that's a substantial amount of money. Like, let's be honest, you needed to pay them royalties. 25% was what their draft said. 25% seems a lot.
It does seem like a lot.
But I can understand why they would start with that number and then maybe negotiate it down. Especially because they're not saying, hey, Cristina and Joe, you're making a penny from this podcast. Give us a quarter of that penny. They're not saying that. Like, so I haven't seen anyone like say that they understood that point, but I felt that if you're going to be impartial, you have to be impartial. Right?
I hear you. And I can see that, you know, like at the end of the day, we've got companies like the Walt Disney Company that the moment that somebody just whispers Mickey's name, it's like, trademark, lawsuit,
copyright strike.
So like that, you know, they didn't used to be like that. But all in all, the Walt Disney Company has a pretty big grip on their content, on their product, and make sure that those who are making use of their product give them the whatever that is due to the company. I understand that. I hate that shit. I hate it. I'm not trying to measure words here, and I will never measure words here. I don't care that shit. It's capitalism. It is capitalism at its finest. However, I can understand based off of that business module how this particular compromise is understandable and acceptable. If you are a high profit company, how are you not going to at least
ask
pay pay a percentage to your parent company? Because all in all, you would have no product if the parent company didn't exist. So I get it. It's yucky, but I get it.
yeah, like it's in the end, people need to make money because that's
Mhm.
the world. We can be idealistic as we want to be, like we can, and we can have our own set of internal values and morals. But the reality is, people gotta eat, and I don't think asking for a cut for over $750,000 a year is absurd. How many creators are actually making $750,000 a year worth on D&D? I can't pretend to guess because I didn't research, but off the top of my head, I can only assume Critical Role is. And I can guarantee you, Christina, that there is no way in this world that Wizards of the Coast attempted to do this without speaking to Critical Role and striking their own deal. Were they accept?
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. The first 3 episodes of season 2 of Vox Machina just came out.
Yeah.
Like,
It is such a shame that this is happening right now. Like this
I
is their big
know.
week. This
Oh,
is
it breaks my heart.
yeah.
It breaks my heart. I'm just, whew, like,
I have to say though, like I as a fan and as a I'm gonna go with a fan or creator and like a Patreon of D&D.
yeah.
I am a little bit annoyed, and this is also going to be controversial. Well, whatever. You know what? I don't care. I'm a little bit annoyed of the statement that Critical Role set out to like said, based off the entire situation. It was very generic and very like we stand by creators, blah blah blah. But they didn't really like.
Say
It's a
more.
lot of
It was
words.
a it
It
was a
was
very
very
political stance.
yes, yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes. And then all you have all the like you know how stands in general are like they can do nothing wrong. Like that's in any culture, anything
Mm-hmm.
stands are like
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
general argument back is um they probably have an NDA so they can't say more. And all that I can think of is if they probably have an NDA, you can say that you're under NDA. Like say that. We can't say more. This is our statement. We're under NDA. Goodbye. Like
I hear you.
it's I don't know.
I
It
hear you. However, as a person who has received NDAs,
mhm.
I understand that there might be some very project specific clauses that might
Mm-hmm.
require you to not disclose in any way that could at any point by your statement create any additional lines of speculation. Like,
Here's the thing, though. Yes, I get it. Also, if Critical Role said we're changing to Pathfinder, we're gonna create our own system, we're gonna do
mhm.
Exandria dice, whatever, their fans would follow them.
Oh, absolutely. No doubt whatsoever.
I don't really think personally Critical Role needs Dungeons and Dragons the same way that Dungeons and Dragons needs Critical Role.
Agreed 1,000%. I feel like Critical Role might be in a different field, but
Stratosphere.
in a very, yes. But what I'm trying to say is in a different field, yet not a different situation necessarily than what Dragon Age found itself in, where the product that they had, because you mentioned that Dragon Age was like
Bond.
there were creator, yes, right, but what I'm trying to say is Dragon Age came from D&D
Yes,
to an
from Baldur's
extent.
Gate. Yeah.
Correct. So they created their own platform, they created their own option. That's what I'm trying to address with Critical Role at this point.
Yeah.
They are in a very similar situation as Dragon Age was at that point in time, where if
Correct.
they chose to just be like, we're gonna do our own thing now, thank you, and just like grab their fan base, grab their fucking show, their
Yeah.
their prime TV show, and just go indie, like independent from what words Dungeons and Dragons is, they like there will be a path to success, no doubt
Yes.
about it, no doubt about it. So i I do, I mean,
I mean, honestly, I think in these type of conversations, you have to mention Critical Role because of their importance. However, they're not at all responsible or in charge of Dungeons and Dragons in any way where
Of
you can be
course.
like, it's your fault, Matthew Mercer.
You should
No,
have done this,
yeah.
Matthew. No.
Me personally, Joe personally is like, that statement is vague. It would have been great, at least if they address that they have an NDA, much like, I don't know if, you play Bayonetta?
No, but I'm familiar.
Do you know about the voice actor drama?
To an extent, yes.
So like the actor said that she was offered
Uh-huh.
$4,000 and
For
the
a
studio
character
came
that's so
the studio came out and they said, no, that's not what happened. And then one of the best voice actors in current voice actors working,
in the business.
Jennifer Hale. Yeah,
Yeah.
Jennifer Hale, voice of, Shepard, and in basically every video game that you ever play. She's
Correct.
probably there. She's the one that's voicing Bayonetta now. Her statement was very, she's like, I can't say a lot because I'm under NDA. It was like the first or the last line, I don't remember. And then she gave her statement on the situation, and that's all she could say. That's all I'm
I
saying.
hear you. I hear you. And again, these are very case specific situations.
Yeah.
So it is a hard, as entertainers, people who are to one point, to an extent, the face of a product.
Yeah.
It's a very, very delicate line to walk.
Yeah.
Because you are subject to what the
contract,
product,
the voice.
Yeah, exactly. So like you can only do so much, and
Yeah.
if you are expected to respond in the most vague way possible, you might not even be able to disclose that you're on an NDA. Like that can be part of the NDA.
Obviously,
So
yeah. I guess,
and
as I said, I don't blame Critical Role.
no, at all.
Me personally, that's my only thought in regards to them, to the whole situation. Because 2 weeks ago, I
Yeah.
was on Twitch watching their live stream, and the entire chat was just Open D&D be gone, the two hashtags that are trending with it. The entire chat was that. People were like, people who weren't aware, they were asking like, what's happening? And that's the place to post those messages, and it was on Friday that they released their statement, because their chat was like, what are you doing? But again, I don't want to focus on Critical Role. I felt that
You
I
just
needed to
want
be
to
brought up.
shine, you just wanted to shine some light on what on that, and you have every right. This is a very distressful time, honestly. It's affecting so many different fans at so many different levels. It's frustrating.
It is.
It's frustrating and stressful, and there doesn't seem to be a beneficial end in sight for the people who are being affected. Like it's either you adapt or you're fucked. Either you adapt or you just, it is what it
It's
is,
very
you
that.
know.
Thankfully, the campaign D&D Be Gone and Open D&D, because of, I mean, the story has we're currently better today than we were when it started. I don't know if you how much you followed, but because of D&D shorts and the leaks, he basically said the way they're tracking public reactions currently is the only way that they can measure money daily, which is through their webpage or their app, D&D Beyond.
Okay.
So you know me, that I've always said I play with my books, whatever. However, in this game that I'm currently playing, it's the first game that I'm playing with D&D Beyond, and it's a very useful platform. Because it has the books and you have the character sheets there, and we can do a whole podcast about why to use D&D Beyond later. But he said, cancel your subscriptions, they're going to react. And it wasn't 2 days later that they reacted. When like there were people saying like, I canceled, images like canceled. I'm canceling mine next week.
Okay.
I haven't canceled it yet because we took a break from playing, and I want to tell all my players in person that they need to like download your character sheet, download your books, download everything.
Right. Right.
We're gonna move offline for a while, because these people are trash. Like everybody that I know that has been paying has already canceled. I need to tell my players in person because they don't all read WhatsApp on a regular basis.
That
Um, yeah. So I just want to make sure everybody has their character sheet because, geez, because we're gonna still keep playing, and if
there
they
is
continue,
nothing worse than just losing your freaking character sheet. And like,
right, right,
no.
um. So yeah, it's the campaign worked out because they sent out a response where they
Okay.
addressed several of the concerns. Among them that I can lift off the top of my head, it's they're not going to even take that 25%. They're
Okay.
not canceling previous OGL for, I think they said specifically fourth edition and back, which
Okay.
isn't the goal, but it's better, but it's not the goal. And the verbiage that people specifically want is, and you will never cancel it. Like if you're gonna change the OGL, you will never cancel the previous OGL because those editions are done, buddy.
Agreed. Agreed.
They're not gonna affect YouTubers, podcasters, virtual people who stream. They're not gonna affect um professional people who pay for dungeon master services. Like
Okay.
they basically excluded, like they were, it was a lot more clear of what was their intention
Okay.
of who they want
Noted.
to affect.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, this is a lot better.
Absolutely. Like those exceptions needed to be made.
Yeah,
And I knew that it was coming. I was not as versed or as aware as of who was now being kind of like exempt or being like no, you guys are not part of the demographic that this affects, because the way that they announced it was so broad.
yeah,
It
it
was
was like, if you
so
sneeze,
broad that it was like
D&D, we own it.
yeah, like I legit was over here like, so are you guys who is trying to tank the company? Who
Right,
like who's like why, like who got mad at their like at their boss and now they're trying to just make them pay? Like who's extorting who? Because
right.
it was
The funny thing is I've seen several people comment that the person who issued this statement in D&D Beyond is a
mm-hmm.
guy called Kyle Brake. He's the executive producer in Nerds and Dragons, and he starts out the letter saying he's like, I'm the guy in charge of making the game, and he's the guy that wrote this letter. But in general, no one's heard of Kyle Brink before, and they're like, we need a space boat, Kyle, just that. And Kyle, I could just imagine Kyle being like, what, me?
No.
Okay.
Mm,
But
everybody
the
needs a
letter,
scapegoat.
yeah, but the letter was fine. Like it's a lot better. It's not where we deserve. I really appreciate that they're like, we're wrong, we're sorry, because in the first in their first response, it was like,
No.
one of the actual statements, Cristina was, you, some people might say that we lost, but we didn't lose. Nobody won today. It was something
Oh,
on those in the lines of utter like bullshit. So
what?
yeah,
Like nobody wait, no, hold on. So
nobody lost. Nobody lost and nobody won. It's a dialogue. But yeah, in to wrap up what what words at, yeah, they're gonna be working with the community and with some surveys to determine what OGL 2, or that's open game license, OGL 2 will look like moving forward, and it will be a
okay,
communicative effort.
a
Will it
conversation.
happen? Will it
Fuck
be
it.
what it needs to be? I guess we'll find out.
I guess we will. I mean, it's not like we have an alternative. We
Yeah, we do. There's a
yeah.
lot of people who are like, let's go to Pathfinder, let's play other games.
Well, that's true.
Pathfinders did a whole statement out. They were like, we will take them to court if we have to, because Pathfinder was born out of D&D. Like, it's very clear that Pathfinder 1 edition was like the baby of 3.5.
Okay.
And then they made it their own, and they're in their own statement, they're like, we've moved so far away from what it was originally that we're comfortable saying that they can't really do anything to us, but we would fight them in court if needed, and
If
we
they
don't
tried
want to.
to.
Yeah. Pazio is their
All right.
developer.
Okay,
And
good.
thankfully there's companies like Pazio who have gone on record and saying, we will always be OGL, doesn't matter.
All right.
Yeah. So I mean, there's hopefully they got their boost through this ordeal. They had they they made a sale on their store where the discount code was open game. So they're smart, man. They're addressing what needs to be addressed.
Good.
Yeah. So we'll see where that goes. But why don't we go ahead and wrap up a little bit with our general, can you guess
Oh,
what?
it's that time.
Yeah.
Oh,
Is that a blank? What is that? What is that?
Is that? Oh my
I'm going to
God.
describe it for our listeners.
Listeners.
It's tall, green, lanky, has a loincloth. I guess the hair is very matted, fangs, big ass nose, beady eyes.
It looks like an angry troll. It really does look like an angry troll. Like angry troll meets some kind of canine were person.
You had it at troll. I was
Oh,
I'm like, this is our first episode recording in the New Year's. We're gonna do it easy. We're gonna do it
oh,
simple. Have a troll. Have a little troll.
oh, that's a
Um,
troll. All
that's a
right.
troll.
I
I
was
want to
right.
tell you. I want to tell you. Yeah, good job. I think that's one out of no. You're at 2 out of 5.
No, I'm at 1.5.
All right. Here,
I'm
but
at
I want
one
to tell you.
point.
I want to tell you a little bit about trolls as we wrap
Wait, no,
up.
I actually have two because I guess the
Yeah,
mimics.
yeah,
You're right. You're right. You're right.
you
You're right.
did. Yeah. The troll obviously has regeneration. Like, if you can only, it takes permanent damage with acid and fire. So like if you attack it and it hasn't taken acid or fire damage, it can regenerate
Okay. All
10 hit
right.
points per life, per turn, per
Mhm.
round, sorry. And besides that, it has a very good smell and it makes a couple of attacks per turn. However, I want to tell you about why I picked the troll specifically, is that there is
Ooh.
a variant troll that has loathsome limbs, which
Oh,
means,
wait, what?
yeah. Variant troll, loathsome limbs, which means if you cut off
No.
its arms or legs without
No.
fire or acid damage, they will keep attacking you like
No.
independently. Swear to God.
No. You
um
are lying. That is the devil. No.
the leg can't attack by itself, but the arm will like try to attack you with a claw attack. And also the head also tries to attack you.
The head also. So you can sever the head and the head will still work fine?
Yes.
No.
Until acid or fire.
No. But then, okay. So then, if I were to chop a troll's head off and it's not with acid or fire, will a new head grow in its stead? Like if I just have a severed neck, is there gonna be like a little tiny baby head growing up like a seed?
um the part regrows if they don't attach it, if they aren't killed. So if I regrow the head I don't know if it's tiny or small. I think me as a dungeon master, I would choose to make it tiny because it would be funny.
I just feel like it would look very much like the Beetlejuice after scene.
Correct.
Yes.
That would be chef's kiss. Tell me you wouldn't
I'm
love
here for
fighting
this.
that troll.
I would fucking love that.
And every time that they talk, this is like the sound. This is like the voice.
But they're like
He would
big burly.
he would literally roar like roar, like Katy Perry's roar. It would be as fearsome as Katy Perry's roar. I would play that song.
The height of the tiger.
Tiger.
And on that note,
and that tiger, every guys, thank you once again, guys and gals and non-binary pals. Thank you very much for listening to another episode of Is That an Owlbear? A D&D podcast. We're happy to be back. I'm DM Joe. You can find me on Twitter at Joe Harrell. And my co-host,
I am Cristina Contreras. You can find me as Crispa Contreras on Twitch. And where am I? Twitch and Instagram, or as Crispa120 on Twitter and TikTok. I try to upload a lot of stupid stuff, so come and check it out. It's a good time.
she has socials.
I do have socials. I stream on
working on mine.
Twitch. We're
Yes.
trying.
We're doing our best.
We're trying really
Yeah.
hard.
All right, guys. Thank you once again for listening. See you all on the next one. Bye.
Bye.